hip and from the heart. I have some things that I want to cover today, and then we'll try to drag it out until the barbecue gets here. I have to sing and dance, and you really don't want to see that. So anyway, I want to start off by reinforcing what Chairman Cornelius just said about our employees. We have a great bunch of employees here. You know, the demonstration of the climbing, you know, these guys work hard. You know, we have lots of trucks and buckets, but they all know that when it's wet, if they can't get that truck in there, somebody's going to hook that pole. And so our guys climb just like the old days. Well, let me say that. They may not climb as good as they did in the old days, but they're pretty fair. So anyway, they work hard. We had that storm here just recently, and when the guys, you know, they know if they're not on call, if it's storming bad enough, they'll pick up the phone and call. They'll call into the office and say, hey, do you need help? I'm standing by. So that's important because they could hide, you know, go play, but they don't. The board, I'm so thankful to have this board. It's been, I didn't figure I'd rebuild a lot, but we've had to rebuild quite a bit. We hope a lot of improvements, and but the board has been open and willing to participate, not just in the executive and the policy making, but the fact that they're willing participants and eager to make things better for the membership. And that, you can't ask for a better situation than that. So today, I just want to express my appreciation. And I'll give you a few items here that we're working on. We're still doing a lot of tree clearing, as you know. And I've begged in the past, if you see a tree clearing crew, let them take a good distance away. We're asked by the PUC to be 12 feet. We need to cut that so it doesn't grow back up within the next year or two. We need time, because there's an awful lot of trees covering our 2,300 miles that we need to keep down. We've been rebuilding and reconductoring and improving the system, hardening the system, we call it, so that when that next Harvey comes along, we can sustain the hit. We had a $1.6 million damage from Harvey, and we didn't take a direct shot. Our neighbor Victoria, they had about $9 million worth of damage. So we were fortunate not to be in the impact zone. The flooding got us on the east side, and the wind got us on the west side. But we did well, and I'm going to put it to our guys had all of our lines back on a week for the neighbor's investor. So I'm proud of them for what they did. So we've had a situation this year with copper theft. And I know many of you have heard about it. Maybe on the Matagorda side, not so much, because really there was some copper stolen over on the Matagorda side years ago. But here this past, all 6 months? 6 months, we've had a rash of our copper lines being stolen at night. They've got some long reach cutters, and they're cutting our copper neutrals down and rolling it up. I believe they're taking it to Mexico. We actually have some intelligence that some of this wire is going across the border. It's not worth melting down and reusing it. Scrap price isn't that good, so they got to be using it for something. And they may be just piecing it back together and building a line with it down there. I don't know for sure, but that's just my suspicion. Today, We've lost 85,000 feet of wire. That's the equivalent of 6,600 pounds of wire, which is just a little over 3 tons of wire that's been cut at night and rolled up and hauled off. And I mean, they go from Lavaca County all the way to Port Lavaca. And we've had them hit us on the Jackson County side for that, you know, from, like I said, from up into the Lavaca County line all the way down to Calhoun County. So we have, well, one thing is we're running out of places for them to steal because we're just not that much left. But the fact is we don't want to lose it. And so then you ask, what does that cost us? Like I said, copper itself doesn't cost that much. The 6,000 pounds of wire sold in the market as scrap, in and of itself, isn't worth that much. Maybe $15,000, maybe $20,000. Somebody worked really hard for many months to get that kind of cost. It just doesn't make sense. But to us, we have to rebuild that line because we can't go put more copper up. One, we can't afford to buy it. Brand new copper is expensive. New cost, and it's hard to get. So we have to go back with aluminum wire. Well, the problem with that is aluminum wire doesn't sag with copper wire because they're different metals. From an engineering standpoint, one will sag more than the other when it gets hot, or when it gets cold, one will be tighter than the other. So we have to go back and rebuild the line. So our estimate is right now, we're between $300,000 and $400,000 damage from the wire that's been stolen. So what I'm asking you is, we have a bounty. Right now we're offering, what is it, $2,000 bounty, leading to the arrest of anybody stealing that wire. So if you have copper wire in front of your house, and if you want to know if you have copper wire, and you live out in the areas, you come by the office at Edna, because it's like I said, it's on the Jackson County side, and we'll show you a map, and we'll tell you if you have copper in your area. You can help be our eyes and ears for these deals. And if you see somebody at night, and if they're not in one of our big white trucks with diggers and baskets and that, if you see somebody and they look like they're messing around with our lines, don't call the office, call the police or call the sheriff, because the sheriff's department's doing what they can. Paul's been involved with Jackson County Sheriff, Matagorda County, Lavaca County, Calhoun County, the FBI. Pretty much everybody's been trying to help. And we're not the only one being hit, I'll tell you that. Victoria's been hit. The Oasis Co-op down in Corpus Christi's been hit. So we believe this is an organized effort by, I don't know what you call them, some cartels or something that are doing this, and it is not for scrap. So again, I'm just asking, if you see somebody, we don't go cut our own lines down at night. So it'd be useful if you see somebody to call the sheriff. We finished pretty much our automatic metering deployment. Took a while, but we're completely installed now. We have about, 150 meters that we're still struggling to get talking to, but that's down from 15,000. So last year when I talked to you about that, it was kind of depressing. So that's all done, and it works good. Last year I talked to you about where's all my sergeant people at? Out there they are. They all got fiber done finally, so they're happy. We built a lot of fiber since last year. We found out that good folks down at Sargent like broadband more than we thought they did, and they want to use it faster than we thought they could. So we've had to deploy fiber to support that. So we put not quite 100 miles of fiber out so far. We have some at Olivia because folks over at Olivia did the same thing. And we're continuing to work through our phases now to begin rolling out and deploying the fiber to the home for people that want it. We have the areas built so far. We've gone from Ashwood through Van Vleck over to Bay City, down to down 457, past Tom's house, all the way down to Sargent. And then we go, we have tapped on through a contract line over by our Palacios substation. We've deployed fiber into Palacios. We've tied the school systems together. So Palacios ISD now is receiving amazing service. We have, in the process, once I can get the permissions done on the pole attachments, we'll be building to the Palacios Hospital and do a loop through town, because the city fathers have graciously asked us to run a loop through town. So then we have just recently been awarded the opportunity to build out in Matagorda. So we'll be building Matagorda School District. We're going to be making an enhancement for Palacios, and we'll be wiring and providing services to the Van Vleck school system. So these are opportunities for us to leverage federal money. So you might ask, why am I interested in schools? Because we can leverage federal money to then deploy along the way to others. We were unfortunately weren't successful at Edna ISD, but we did get 3 out of 4 of the proposals that we applied for. So we are actually, our technical team, they're all sitting over there. They met with the LNRA, and we're looking at the possibility of expanding for the LNRA side over on by Lake Texas. So that's something that we're looking forward to the opportunity of doing. So now, for those of you who aren't on fiber, most of you are within our wireless reach. We have deployed, as I explained in the past, we do have wireless internet available in many areas, either through LTE or through Wi-Fi. So the frequencies, their job, and I'm just telling you that for the most part, we have wireless internet available throughout the system. So if you have questions on that, you can come see me after, or look up one of the folks up front. Nancy and Kim are back there, and they'd be happy to answer your questions on that, because I'm still trying to drag this baby out for as long as I can. Next thing I'd like to talk to you about is, I should probably have Mike Keysar do this rather than myself. I sit on the South Texas Electric Board along with Bruce Elliott, Mike's board, and they do a great job of keeping power supply to us at an affordable price, which keeps our rates down too. And they have a technical team that just does a great job with our power portfolio. And we've noticed this year that there is a risk of blackouts and brownouts in Texas. ERCOT, which is the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, which is a part of the PUC, the Public Utility Commission, over the past couple of years, they've allowed a substantial number of power plants to close. Mike, how many gigawatts do you got any idea?
Over 5,000 last year.
5,000 gigawatts of power went off the grid last year. Now, you might wonder why. Well, there's an awful lot of wind being built in Texas, and it's subsidized wind. So when you have a new facility that's subsidized, it can be offered into the market for economic reasons cheaper. Well, that's what ERCOT does. ERCOT's job is to get the best price there is for the power that we use. The problem with that is The wind doesn't always blow. Let me ask y'all a question. If you were on a ventilator, would you rather be hooked to a wind turbine or a coal plant? Yeah, I figured. That's where we are. And what's happened is that because we're so focused on the economics and we're not so focused on the reliability and capacity, it used to be we would maintain capacity and have a reserve margin of about 15%. ERCOT tells us right now that the reserve margin is about 4%. I can assure you that the guys at STEC that work for Mike, who are extremely intelligent, extremely bright, and keep track of things, have done their own studies. And they believe that we have negative reserve margin. Now what does that mean? That means if we lose one plant in Texas in August, and it's 115 degrees, and the wind's not blowing, so the turbines aren't turning, there's going to be a problem. Because there is not enough thermal generation in the grid right now to sustain that. So we've issued some warnings. If this summer, if our folks call you and ask you to curtail voluntarily, you might be helping to keep the lights on, because it is that likely that there will be a brownout somewhere in Texas. Now, we may not feel it. We'll get blamed for it. Because I can assure you the regulators aren't going to look in the mirror and blame themselves for letting this much energy go off the grid. They'll figure out a way of blaming us for it. All the others, utilities in the state. But that's all right. We're big boys and we can tell them the truth. So the hope is that it doesn't happen. But there's an awful lot of sensitivity in the grid, and a lot of the plants that are supposed to come online didn't come online. So the wind's got to blow, the sun's got to get out, so there's a lot of solar, and we've got to see it this summer when it's hot. So just so everyone's aware, so later on you can't tell me I didn't tell you so. Hurricane seasons are coming. We went through Harvey, we went through Bill. It seems like it always storms since I've been here. We've had an ice storm, a hurricane, and a tropical storm, or two named. So, and every annual meeting that I've been to, I've been hurt. So, either hurt or in pain. So, at least I'm keeping track. My wife, she informed me that I'm accident prone. Apparently that's true. So we've already had, actually, I don't know how many of them, we've already had a weather system in the Atlantic Basin that came through that could have become an early storm. And it put a bunch of rain on board. So it's coming. Now I'll tell you this, we track every weather system. We have meteorology from STEC. They track the weather through one company. We subscribe to a company. We have lightning detection, which I would tell you this as an offer and an opportunity. If you get hit by lightning and lose appliances or something, and you know you got hit and you need proof, if you will come in, we will validate a lightning strike on your property. We have a lightning detection system at the Bay City office and at Ed. And we can backdate cloud to ground strikes on a map along with the longitude and latitude of that strike. And I just did it last week for a case. So it's something that's very useful. It's useful if you need to be able to demonstrate that you actually got hit by lightning, because this service that we subscribe to provides it to us. So if you're interested in that, you can let us know. The other thing is we have, as you know, many of you, we have the generator program now through Generac. Anthony's back there. He's got some generators or pumps or all this stuff. A lot of it's been sold out of the El Campo office that we opened last year, which is our propane company. It's our main office is El Campo. So we have those available here, and we've put a lot of them in already. There is a 10-year warranty being offered by Generac right now. It's an extended warranty. I think it goes on till June 29th. So if you're interested in a generator, if not for ERCOT or for a hurricane or for some other reason that the lights might go out, it might be something to consider. The other good news is that we recently were approached and the board has signed off on working with the National Cooperative Bank, NCB. NCB is a company, a financial institution that deals with grain co-ops, basically every co-op in the country except for electric co-ops. Because the electric co-ops use the Cooperative Financing Corporation, CFC. The NCB is a sister organization, and so we have arranged for financing for generators or for member needs through the NCB. It's not done through us. We're not a funding source here. We're not a bank. But the National Cooperative Bank, there is a link on our website that you can click that will take you to the NCB to where you can go online and make an application. And it should be a pretty simple process to do. And if approved, then whatever the price is, then you can get your financing to do that. So that's not through us, it's through the National Cooperative Bank, but we leverage this with them, working in conjunction with CFC, so that we can make it available. We've had a lot of people asking. We recently submitted to the Public Utility Commission a new emergency response plan, which outlines how we prepare for events, not just hurricanes, but for any natural disaster or a pandemic or some other. We're required by Public Utility Commission to do that. We work with STEC each year. We have drills on hurricane preparedness. We just recently had one, so that we're all prepared. We have satellite phones and all this stuff. So it's part of our being ready. And I encourage you to, when you go home, to reconsider, or not reconsider, but to consider your situation if a hurricane were to be coming. And are you prepared to deal with it? Have you got things in order for the year? So, and if you need assistance, feel free to call the office. We'll be helpful as we can. Bill Orton down there has got me going to Sergeant June 8th. So I'll be in Sergeant on June 8th to talk to the good folks down there about hurricane preparedness. So, or answer questions or whatever is needed. So, just be prepared is the motto. You'll be seeing notices from us recently about the our requirements that we have each year for hurricane awareness. Another thing is, this year we rebuilt our Facebook page. I don't do Facebook, but I'm aware of it. We redid our web page, try to make it better, more responsive. Keely out is, where's Keely? Keely's over here. Keely's just a really good hand to have. She just came on as our member services, and she's been hitting the ground running with a lot of the things that you're seeing with the photography. So she's handling the website and the web page and Facebook, and so she's a welcome addition to the family. As far as the dragging this out goes, I am running out of words, folks. Excuse me. I'm almost there. But we've got the Facebook, so with that, I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll just want to thank Missy Landry and yes sir, I'll get you in a second. The guys behind you, everybody that helped set up the board, give them all this. Thank my wife and daughter for putting up with my travels and my bad moods when I come home sometimes. So anyway, yes sir, I'll answer questions.
Yeah, have any of the properties been apprehended?
No sir, they have not been, no one, let's put it this way. There have been some questions, but no one has been kept because they didn't have evidence to file, what do you call it? They didn't have enough evidence to keep them. The car was caught with just cutters in it, but it didn't have any copper. Yes, sir.
What happens when they cut a line? Does that make that line unusable?
No, sir. It doesn't make it unusable, but it does make it, from a technical standpoint, our neutrals are what carry fault current and imbalanced voltage. The neutral is used to process on a three-phase line of carrying that fault current across the system. So those neutrals are necessary. It's not that we don't need, I mean, they don't have voltage on them, which I've had some of the law enforcement ask me if we could energize them. That would end it right then, but unfortunately, my lawyer and my insurance company will not allow for that. So that doesn't work that well. Plus, we would tear up every appliance you have. Not good. Cindy?
I'm just waiting.
Just waving. How we doing, Mike?
We're setting up now.
We're setting up now. Do you want to just visit amongst yourselves, or somebody want to?
We got a source.
Oh, hell, we're good. Sorry.